Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen up, boys and girls. Not much new news, right? We can see Turbo's listed on Change Now, right? Pretty much the Now wallet we talked about yesterday. But yeah, we can see it's listed on the exchange. So that's what we like to see. Turbo has been killing it with these exchange listings over the last few months. We will talk about Robinhood potentially, if it's still viable and possible tomorrow, right? So make sure to tune into that video because we will be discussing, is it still possible for Turbo to get listed in Robinhood, despite everything that's been happening in the markets over the last few weeks. Speaking about that, we will be talking about Turbo's price action. We'll be talking about Bitcoin's price action. We will be going on coin market cap, and then we will also be looking at news, right? First off, I do want to go on coin market cap first, right? I do want to go to Turbo. If we go to Turbo very, very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, we can actually see we're going up in rank. There's actually a point where we pretty much were out of the 200th spot, and now we're actually in 187. So Turbo is holding really, really well. And as you guys know, Bitcoin has been declining rapidly, right? If you did watch my Caspa video, if you did watch the other Turbo video, I pretty much said, yeah, we were going up, but as long as we don't create higher highs, right? Just follow simple technical analysis, then we will continue going lower. Everything that I talk about here, gets discussed already earlier in the private community and a lot more, right? I already talked to people in the community saying, look, guys, there's only one potential spot where, something like Bitcoin could hold if it's off this area, but I don't expect it to because we did close here. Now we went here and we continue going lower, discussing everything. So we expected these prices to be happening with Bitcoin over the last few days. The only thing I will say I did get wrong is my initial expectation, right? I did believe that personally we would go and into this block, maybe wipe out this liquidity at most, and then kind of have a bounce up. So I was wrong about that. But you have to remember the things with trading that we have a plan, right? Thinking, okay, we believe this is going to happen. And then when price comes into it, we have to see and confirm if something is going to happen. That is how technical analysis works, right? It's why when Bitcoin went down to 90,000, I was in a buy order, I canceled it, right? I could show proof in the next video. I literally canceled it because I was like, nah, price action, don't like it. And then, ever since then, I've been saying in my videos, nope, we will continue going lower and lower. Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin has dropped a lot, right? Bitcoin has dropped a lot. We're pretty much sub 80,000, and we will not stop dropping until pretty much we get to 76,000. And don't worry, I will talk about Turbo very specifically in just a moment, right? But this is very important because I expect things to kind of keep dropping at least to 75K. We probably will dip a little bit more into this imbalance. There's no imbalance to be filled in this massive zone. You have to realize also this zone over here was consolidating. It filled up every single area it possibly could have in terms of imbalance. And it's a very, very big support zone. We know it was happening for 7.5 months. So, furthest we should go down in terms of dips is, lowest would be like high 60s, like 69, 68,000, which actually will set up a buy limit over there. So we can expect, Bitcoin to drop another 10,000 potentially, which would be a maximum of, pushing that 12%. Now, obviously, that means things are going to be dumping a little bit more. We see, certain price for certain coins have been dumping a lot. We actually see that Turbo, generally speaking, is dumping a little bit less than most of these coins. And the funny thing is, like, all these coins are like, AI, real world assets, utility coins, and etc. And Turbo's a meme coin. And the thing is with meme coins, they usually are a double-edged sword, right? If Bitcoin goes up 5%, then usually all coins will go up like 8%, and then meme coins will go up like 12, 13%. And then when it's reverse, Bitcoin goes down 5, alt's going down 8, meme coins go down like 13, right? This case, Turbo is holding the line. Now, I will say if Bitcoin does go down another 10, 12%, we might get hit, to prices down here. However, ladies and gentlemen, It could be temporary wicks. I don't expect anything too crazy. The craziest thing that could happen is if we do not hold this line. Believe it or not, this is going to be the most important um, price action for Turbo over the next couple of days, over the next few short weeks. I say this because there is literally no real support over here up until 0.0013. All right. We've talked about this on this channel before, and I'll talk about it again, right? When you just have something pump very fast or dump some very fast, there's usually a lack of support and resistance. So price can mirror very, very easily. So it is very important that we actually hold the line, because if we don't, right, we can dip a little bit. As long as it's kind of a quick rejection, we bounce back up, get good daily closes, get a good weekly close, and etc. But if we don't, then we very well may fall down to this area. Now, we don't want that to happen. We really, really don't. And it doesn't have to happen, right? Obviously, Bitcoin dominance will play a factor, right? Because Bitcoin is going down, and Bitcoin dominance in general has been going a little bit higher the last few hours. We can see nothing crazy, but a little bit higher. We do want Bitcoin dominance to be going down to help out Turbo, right? If Bitcoin's gonna be crashing, Bitcoin dominance is going to be down, then coins won't really get affected that much, truth be told. But we can see we are like near an area where we're kind of struggling, and it does bring a little bit of concerns because price action is price action. We can see there's two daily candles that make up all this price action. There's literally no support there. So if we were to fall under, and when we had like a bad weekly close or a couple of days of consistent closing below the zone, there's a good chance we actually will fall below and go all the way down here. Okay, I have to tell you the truth, right? Technical analysis, that's just how it is sometimes. Now, would I raise the alarm bells yet? No. Is there a lot you can do? Not really. I mean, you could sell your positions now, but I'm going to assume most of you are in the negatives or break even at this point. So for me, there's no point of really selling at this point, right? There's no point of really selling. Now, let's try to dive into some good news, okay? Here's the deal, right? If we generally consistently stay around the zone, right? Even if we go a little bit quicker of a dip, right? Do whatever. If we generally stay above and around the zone, consolidate, that's going to be a great indicator, okay? A very, very good indicator. Then the second thing that we want, right, after we generally speaking go like sideways, more or less, get some good closings, is we're going to want to create higher highs than all the areas we currently have. So at this current moment, we have 0.0034. Then we have over here 0.0038. And then after that, it's just a little bit higher each time. But generally after that, we're going to want to start going higher and higher. And then once we kind of go above this zone, right, this will kind of act as a support and resistance over here, right? Something like this. And then what we're going to really want on a higher time frame is to actually create, these types of highs. And I believe we will recover very, very quickly when the time comes, just because there's a lot of imbalance, right? Just because there's a lot of imbalance, like I already just explained, imbalance, lack of support and resistance. We go to the weekly, we can see that Turbo has been bleeding the last few weeks, right? The last couple weeks has been slowing down a lot, but the week of, like pretty much whole January, it just kind of bled very quickly. So I expect the price to mirror it in the very near future. And I still believe, ladies and gentlemen, that Turbo will do well. I think worst case scenario, right? These are the two worst case scenarios, is pretty much we have, if we get another top and things are just very, very weak, altcoin season's very weak, very trash, you will be able to cash out like 1.2 cents, right? I think that's the worst case scenario. Then the second worst case scenario is we most likely would be looking to recover and, top out near the end of quarter 4, beginning of quarter 4, doesn't matter. So maybe sometime in September, October. And at this point, we could see 2 cents as worst case scenario, right? Those are the worst case scenarios for Turbo, really generally speaking, right? We talked about how we have to hold this, and then in terms of pumps, going back to 1.3 and then 2 cents. And this is like the worst of the worst, okay? I just have to put this plan out there because you need to be informed and you need to be prepared just in case this whole altcoin season was a flop, right? As long as you break even or make money, that's better than losing money. But um, we have to see, right? We have to see how everything plays out. I still high on Turbo. I still think we can go to, very, very high market cap for total market cap. But we'll have to see how things play out because right now, this market cap is dumping mainly because of Bitcoin and obviously altcoins and stuff a little bit too. But once we do this, right, if we do go and create, higher highs, I'm not sure how high we will go, but we go upwards of 5 or 6 trillion, and then we can get a dump, right, like an actual proper dump. So we'll see how things work out, right? At the end of the day, we have to go with a technical analysis. You know, this type of bias and this type of talk only gets us so far. It isn't what the charts say in the moment that really indicate everything. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.